This for entertainment purposes only. Well, guys, the moment y'all been waiting for. It's going to be kind of like, I'm honest, one of them big fireworks shows you go to with big expectation. You come away and it's so-so, better than medium. I'll get straight to the point. Am I related to JFK? Absolutely not. No blood line at all. Am I related to somebody very closely connected to him? Possible. I'm disappointed because I met with a person that I thought could give me confirmation. Yesterday was the last one that knew anything about my dad, that could have told me hands on, that was pretty close to him, and he couldn't. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's going to be interesting, but it's not going to be earth shattering, and I am not Christ. Well, we're all Christ. I've done one over that. But God loves us all, no matter who we are. But this is the short version of it. You'll have to go to my other channels. I cannot afford to have this taken down. So I was born, or to my knowledge, I was born December 1st, 1964 in Conway, Arkansas at Conway Regional Hospital. That's what I was told. At 8 years old, my parents, Everett and Marion Gaither, confirmed to me that I was adopted. They thought it'd be shocking. I always knew I didn't look like them, act like them, anything else. I loved them to death, but it didn't shock me. Told everybody at school. There was another one or two people in my class, maybe three, that was adopted. It's pretty cool. So, but my dad had a problem with drinking, and he was a Mason. He wasn't high level. He's a good guy. He's not one of them. But there's still some old Hanging G belt buckles. His nickname on the CV was Hanging G, wore a ring, and all that stuff. He was one of the first ever employees of what is now Windstream Verizon. It was started at Wilborn Road on Pryor Mountain, 8 miles north of Quitman. You can check me out, Wilborn Road, BORN. Mom and dad couldn't have babies. They had two that she miscarried two, and one was born stillborn. It's buried down at Goodloe Church. His name's Nelson. And but my dad, when he drank, the first time, I believe it's the first time or second time, we was at our old deer camp on Pryor Mountain on the Cleburne County, Van Buren County line, the road that led to our deer camp. See, I'm telling y'all this so you can check me out. It's the old house place is gone. The old tree is still there. But he told me about this when I was sitting on a made bed at our old deer camp, and he started drinking. He'd show me his Mason ring. But he finally told me that I was given up by a 15-year-old girl. I will not, out of their respect for their privacy, I will not name names or where she was from or anything else like that. And my records was sealed. I'd never be able to get to him because the doctor could have got in trouble. He could have got in trouble, which is probably true. I was a black market baby. He said they paid $500 for me. That was a lot of money back then. So anyway, he said that I would have to, if I got older, I would have to get lawyers and everything else. But I didn't have no brother or sister. Didn't have no desire. So I went in, and so I just left it at that. But then every time he get to drinking, he would tell me more. He told me her name and that she had moved off to another state. And he told me my father was, and I will not name names, was a guy who was a great college football player and went on to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not going to name his name. He wasn't you can Google it, but I'm not going to give it to you. But he was on a famous team, but he wasn't one of the famous players. So, and he, before he went into college, him and the girl got together and had me. So that was pretty much the end of it. And I talked to one of my first chiropractors, was friends with him, and his sister worked next door. Talked with him, said it's possible. He had a lot of kids he had a problem with women. He had several wives. And I thought, well, I don't want to find out I've got all these brothers and sisters. A good friend of mine is friends with him. He said, man, you can go. He's having health problems now, but he'll do a blood test. I said, no big deal. So anyway, I pretty much left it at that. But it always bothered me with the Mason ring. So I always figured Dad had to get me through his Masonic connections and through Hugh Wilburn, the owner of the original owner of what's Windstream Verizon. It's kind of weird where that happened at the deer camp from Pryor Mountain. You can draw a line almost due east northeast and come through Diamond Bluff Estates, where Kenneth and Gloria Copeland bought, and Joseph Capson, we know what they're at, bought Diamond Bluff Estates across their airstrip they use, and just a little north of there is where Hugh Wilburn lived. You go on down there, Miller's Point was where the ceremony that woman said took place. Can't say what it is, before JFK had come up here to JFK Park, almost goes straight to JFK Park from there. I estimate 5 to 7 miles the crow flies. It's kind of strange that all that happened there. So anyway, let's fast forward to a few months ago, and I made this video, I'm sorry, all too long, that I was delivering pizza time. I switched with a guy. I delivered to this person and to this area. And then before I went delivering, I asked the creator, I said, I want you to download me and I want to lead people to the truth on my channels. And I said, I want it to come from a woman. Well, the next day I hardly ever get calls at my house. I sat down and got a call and they said, are you Mitchell on TikTok? He said, sources told me to download you with the information. I'm like, what? I thought, well, I can meet this person. And before I even said it, told me, can you meet me here at this time? Come to find out, their place is the one I delivered to, only I didn't hand the pizza to them. So anyway, when Dad, going back to that deer camp, he'd hold his mason ring out, and I was sitting on the bed, and he would talk about J. William Fulbright. And he would talk a lot. And as I got older, I thought, well, Hugh Wilburn must have knew him, and they must have helped him with connections. Okay, anyway, I walk in, I meet with this person, and they said there's no other way of getting around this, and they do like this. They says, does Fulbright mean anything to you? I see a made bed. The source is showing me a made bed in an old camp where you used to hunt. Bam. They said that I am the grandson of J. William Fulbright. That his daughter, Elizabeth, is my mom. I can't get into detail because what I say, how it come about, could get me taken down. It will have to be on my Lone Wolf 1234 channel on TikTok and my YouTube. So I'll leave y'all at that. But how could somebody from 50 years ago know about, I've never met, know about a cabin in the woods, know about the made bed, and know what Daddy said to me? It just don't add up. They went on to tell me some other things that I won't get into, but they shouldn't have known. And about some people that's in my life, maybe a ghost in the machine that I've talked before that don't need to be. And some pretty wild stuff that come out to be true. And this man died at 89 years old. 8 plus 9 equals 17. JFK would be 170, still alive at 17. There's a lot of 917s in my life. 917 is the first 3 numbers of my driver's license number. Highway 107 runs 16.2 miles in Faulkner County. That's 9 and exactly 17 miles. I walked into Heber Printing. I'm telling you, some of y'all knew this channel. I walked into Heber Printing not too far, 2 years ago when all this stuff started happening, too far from JFK Park. The guy was teasing me. There's old 17. They had a 417 area code they was printing. It was 117, Revelation 117. When I left, it freaked them out. The computer, all of a sudden, the printers just started shooting out 717, 717, 717. If you come and leave my driveway and you go down 225 south to Quitman and you drive back to 25 and go to Heber, the Heber city limits are 17.2 miles. If you come down Wesley Chapel Road, go hit Cove Creek at 16, you go down and go back the other way, the entrance to JFK Park is 17.1 miles. It was just 917 when I said that, guys, so I apologize. I could go on and on. You can flip these 17s over, and so I meant this to be 5 minutes, guys. So what do you think? I'll do the longer version, and the more I will be doing one later tonight on Lone Wolf 1234 in my YouTube channel. That gummit, I didn't mean to do this long. So later, guys.